Hey, everybody, my name's Chris Warren.
My name is Matt Lopes.
Welcome to the You Should Be Worried podcast.
Podcast where we're two boys fucking talking and there's a third boy behind the camera and everyone wants to show his goddamn fucking face. Ben, you having a good day? Just checking on you.
No, I'm not being brought into the fucking podcast like that. First of all, this guy woke me up. Did you, Chris, you showed up at 11:30.
Yeah, because that's the time you told us to be here.
So this guy shows up at 10:30 and decides Ben probably wants to be shot with a Nerf gun to be woken up.
So wait, John let you in the house and Ben was still asleep.
Yeah.
That's lit.
If you're going to shoot me with anything, actual gun.
Actual gun,
I don't even want to feel it because when I am arising, it's at the pearly gates of heaven. That's how I was like.
That'd be great if you, we were talking about Ben gets sleep paralysis sometimes.
Yeah.
If he just had sleep paralysis and Matt's just standing over him. Like,
Where's the demon, Ben? I'll fucking kill him.
yeah, try to move. There's nothing you can do. You're mine for the next 30 seconds.
I can't imagine walking into Ben's room while he's having an episode. That'd be probably so scary. That'd be so scary. Like,
I think he just lies there still.
He sees a demon and he's trying to like, and then I walk into the other corner, like through his door, and the demon's in the other corner of his room, and he's like fucking trying to like. The demon's
I've never
right
understood.
And I'm like fucking swinging at nothing.
Have you guys ever had sleep paralysis before?
No.
No, never.
You don't. There's no demon. It's like I've never understood that.
Is it
You
in your
looking
mind?
at the inside of your closed eyeballs.
Oh, you can't even open your eyes.
No, you are paralyzed from sleeping, but you are awake as a person.
So you're just dreaming.
No, I'm awake like this. And my body still thinks I'm sleeping. So, because when you dream, your body paralyzes itself. So you're not like running in your bed and shit. So my body is still doing that as it should, but then my brain is waking up too early.
So is it like lucid dreaming? It's just
No,
a
it's
nightmare?
He's just awake, but he can't move his body.
But it does cause me to lucid dream sometimes because I'll be in a dream and then be aware I'm in my bed right now sleeping.
Yeah.
It's fucking frightening.
Holy
as fuck.
shit.
You guys are like, why don't you just fly? I'm like, I'm not in a field. I'm not in a fun. I'm usually in like a very scary situation.
It's like Inside Out, like
Yeah.
in your
I'm
head.
like, how long is this gonna last? How long am I gonna be here?
I've
freaks me
only
out.
lucid dreamed a couple times.
Chris, with your drug use, I feel like you would like love like self-deprivation tanks and shit like that.
Yeah, I do love all that like intense meditation stuff.
Yeah.
I used to do it a lot more. Now, not so much. Now I just lay on a bed of nails and stay in the sauna for 3 hours against my doctor's advice. But that'll get me fucked up. But like, I've only lucid dreamed like maybe a handful of times my entire life. I was never I always wanted to, but didn't have the discipline to like do the exercises you had to do for months to get into it. Like I had a friend who used to do that in college, and he would like, you'd have to like draw something on your hand and then look at it every night before you went to bed, and then like train yourself to like somehow try to look at it in the dream.
Yeah.
And then one night you'd look at it in the dream, that symbol wouldn't be there, and you'd know your dream and you could lucid dream.
Right.
But I didn't have I did that like 2 nights, and I was like, this is too much work.
That's
I'm done.
insane, dude.
But dude, lucid, every time I've lucid dreamed, like the 5 times it's happened, I've always been like, I'm lucid dreaming. I'm going to have sex with Gabby Carter now. That's what I'm going to go do immediately.
Yes.
And then I go and find Gabby, who's conveniently like in the next room in my dream, because it's my dream. I make the rules.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nice. This is such a good use of my lucid dream. And then I wake up because I realized I was dreaming. I was like, fuck.
Right.
She didn't even take her shirt off
When
yet.
I was younger, I used to have those same dreams. Whenever I had lucid dream, I'd go right to sex. I'd go right to the hottest girl who was in my school that year, you know? And I'd be like, we're fucking, and there's nothing you can do about it. And then,
I don't like that phrasing. I don't like that.
I didn't tell them like that. In the dream, they'd be willing, you know?
Even in your wildest fantasies, they're still not into
They're
it.
like, no, dude. And so, like, but also back then when I was younger, like 13, 14, like when I was having those sex dreams, like I'd be able to like not come in real life.
Nice.
Like I used to have like I used to feel like the as Lil Dicky put it, I used to feel the semen creeping around the penis. And then like I'd be able to like wake myself up enough. Like I'd still be in the dream, wake myself up enough to actually not come the bed.
But isn't that the whole like cool part of the dream is you come?
I know.
It kind of feels like you defeat the purpose. Like you edged yourself in.
Yeah, but if
in
you
the
come in the
world.
dream, you come in real life, Chris. You know
That's
that.
yeah, that's the beauty of it.
And so
I've never been
like,
able to come in my sleep.
Really?
I've not once.
See, I always used to have to like stop myself from doing the coming, and then I'd be like, "Well, that was a fun experience," up until I had to stop. But I can't do that anymore. Like I can't stop myself anymore.
So now you're just blasting in the sheets every night.
Yeah, dude. And I'm only lasting for like 3 seconds. I'm not even like lasting a long time in my dreams. It's like
Even in your wildest fantasies.
Yeah,
Like,
dude. Yeah.
You kiss the girl and you're like, oh.
Honestly, and you're in my biggest fantasy, like lasting long during sex doesn't exist. Like what you want is to come. You want to come as quick as possible. So that makes sense. In your fantasies, people don't give a fuck how long you last. You want to come as all the time.
See, I think my problem with the like handful of times I've lucid dreams, because like we said, I go right to sex. I think I'm picking women that are too hot.
Yeah.
So it's like when I'm alone in the room with famous porn star Gabby Carter, it's like, well, this is obviously unrealistic. Like, even though I know I'm dreaming, it's like, come on, man, there's a little, you're getting a little greedy. And then I wake up before I can even do anything. So I think in the future, I got to pick like a mids woman. So I'm like, it would be unlikely.
Yeah.
But like this, if you had played your cards completely right and she was in the right mood, like this could have happened. Like that's what I got to start doing.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we just have to fucking lower our standards a little bit.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's if I'm in the dream, I should be able to do, whatever.
It should be fantasy, right?
Also, Matt,
that's where fantasy exists.
Your fantasy of not wanting to last long in bed because you don't care about that. My fantasy has nothing to do with my pleasure in the sex. I just have the fantasy that like a woman would enjoy having sex with me, which would require me lasting a long time to pleasure her.
See, that's also in my fantasy. But see, you're fucking up where
they're
being
like
too realistic in your fantasy.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, no, what a woman needs is for you to last long. In my fantasy, women don't need me to last long in order to have their maximum pleasure. Me and my women that I'm with in my dreams are coming at the exact same time after 3 pumps like it should be.
No, my dream that I one day hope to accomplish is just I have sex with a woman, and she's like, that wasn't the worst sex I've ever had.
That's great. That's really good.
They're like, on the right day, I might even look forward to that every once in a while. And I'm like, nice. Yes. Yes. And they're like, did you have a good time? It's like, no, I was in my head the whole time. I didn't even feel any of that. I was having a panic attack. But the fact that you had it made it all worth it that you had a good time.
Yeah, baby.
Had an okay time. Let's be realistic.
I'll see you next dream.
Oh, I have a due to viewer requests. I have one more quick Craig story I'm going to share.
Oh yeah, please.
Because I have millions, but this is another one I thought of because we're talking about the dreams.
Yeah.
So I remember this one time, we wanted to hang out with Craig, and Craig had gotten grounded.
Okay.
Because he was still like,
he's like 17.
Yeah,
16,
he's like a junior.
15.
Yeah, it was no. I think at this point he was a senior in high school.
Okay.
So he was like a senior in high school. So he was like 17. And me and all my 21-year-old friends were like, we got to get Craig, dude. And so we call up Craig and we're like, hey, we're going to some party. So we're going to this party, come hang out. And he's just like, I can't. Oma grounded me. I can't leave the house. I'm in a lot of trouble.
His grandma.
Yeah, his grandma's Oma. That was his caretaker. And fucking, I don't remember why. He was like, he just didn't do his homework for like a year or something. And she found out. She's like, what the fuck? I was like, why you do? I don't like homework. It's gay. And it was like, fair point. And so we went on the plan to rescue Craig.
Okay.
And also at this time, Oma had found Craig's stash of all his weird drugs. So that had been flushed. That was all gone.
Okay.
So we were going to go pick up Craig. And we went to Craig's door at like 11 at night. And we like snuck around. And because he lived in the basement, and so we knocked on the window. We're like, Craig, come here, Craig. And he's walking around in his underwear like a zombie.
Yeah.
And he just looks at us and just stares there, like, again, nonverbal, just, and we're like, what the fuck you put on? Come on, we gotta go. We gotta go. We're street parked. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
And he just looked at us and just like went back into another room. And then came back down with a bowl of cereal and just started eating the cereal, in his underwear, spilling milk.
While you're still outside?
Yeah, well, we're still just at like the sliding glass door that's in his basement because it's like one of those where it's like half basement, half opens the outworld.
Instead of letting you in, he went to go get a bowl of cereal.
The milk's like dripping down his face. He's just like... And meanwhile, my friends have already started smoking a bong. And I'm like, guys, you're going to wake up Oma. Stop. It's taking 5 minutes. We got to be high.
He's coughing outside.
And so then Craig looks at us again and just drops the bowl of cereal and runs away. And we stay there.
He's on drugs.
Yeah, we stay there.
He's gotta be on drugs.
So hold on. So we wait there for like another 10 minutes. We call him like 40 times. He doesn't answer like on his phone. We're just like, fuck, we go.
Yeah.
And so like 2 days later, we were like talking to him. We're like, Craig, what the fuck happened? Like, we came to get you. We like did all this stuff, and you just stared at us like a fucking jackass. Did you not see us? Did you not hear us? He's like, oh no, so what happened is when Oma grounded me, she looked through my room and found all my acid and threw it out. So I didn't have any acid or marijuana. So what I decided to do. Oh, and also the reason Craig partied so hard on drugs is because he was diabetic, he couldn't really drink.
Okay.
Like, I don't really know how diabetes worked. He had the kind where if, like, he drank, he would go into insulin shock, essentially, after, like, one beer. So, like, he just compensated with other stuff.
Yeah.
So he was like, just threw out all my drugs. I didn't know what to do. So I read online that if you take, like, a shitload of Benadryl, that you just trip out hard. So I took, like, 2 packs of Benadryl.
Holy shit.
And it was crazy. I saw the Hat Man. And I'm like, what the fuck is? Because what the fuck's the Hat Man? And apparently, now it's popularized. But apparently, when people do a lot of Benadryl, they see like shadow figures. You basically give yourself short-term schizophrenia. So they see like shadow figures that look like they're wearing hats, and it's affectionately referred to as the Hat Man. But then I asked, so Craig, when you were eating a fucking bowl of cereal, staring at us for fucking 5 minutes, what was that about? He's like, well, the first time I saw you guys, I thought you were imaginary. So I went like, no, that's not the real Chris. That's a demon trying to get me. I'm not going to fall for it, demon.
Yeah.
And so I went away to clear my head. I came back with some cereal because I was hungry. And then, because my blood sugar, my diabetes. And then I saw you guys again, and I thought you were Donald Duck.
Oh, no.
So in Craig's mind at the time, there were just like 5 anthropomorphic Donald Ducks standing outside his window, just like
asking him to get outside.
Get in the fucking car, kid. Come out, stop being a pussy. Because we were mad, so we were like, stop being a pussy, come outside.
Yeah.
So it was just like 5 Donald Ducks like squared up. And he was like, so I dropped...
whatever Donald Duck impression is.
So he's like, so I dropped my bowl of cereal and I ran to my room and hid under my bed for the next 4 hours. And then I fell asleep and woke up the next day. I didn't think that was you guys. I thought that was just me hallucinating.
Holy
and I'm
fuck.
just like, yeah, no, that was us. He's like, okay.
Jesus Christ. So we've talked about like N-bomb. We've talked. So he was on Benadryl that night.
Yeah. So
much Benadryl.
Like a shit. Like he took like
Is that over the counter Benadryl? Or you need a prescription for Benadryl.
Yeah. So I never Benadryl trip because the way Craig went into more detail, but he like saw spiders and shit. Like it didn't sound fun.
Yeah.
It didn't sound fun. So yeah, if you take a lot of Benadryl, I think he took like 2 packs, which I think can kill you. He shouldn't have done that. Don't do that if you're a viewer at home. Craig, not everyone's system's built like Craig. He's built different. Mm-hmm. And so like if you take a shitload of Benadryl, it does something in your brain where you basically, like I said, you give yourself like short-term schizophrenia.
Jesus Christ.
And all the reviews online, Craig's review, every review I've read online, because I used to be on like a lot of drug forums, not good. No one has good. Everyone's like, yeah, you definitely trip, but it's horrible. It's a nightmare. It's just a nightmare. Don't do it. And then people are like, I'm going to do it. And they,
yeah, because they don't go fuck with the internet says.
And then like 2 days later, I think the forum was called the Shroomery. Where we're just talking about like different ways to get high, and you come back and be like, that was a mistake. You guys right. It was fucking horrible. Oh, fun news. I don't know if we talk. I'm unemployed now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't know you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Fire, dude. Chris is unemployed. Give him a little applause break. Yeah. Chris, how do you fucking feel about...
I feel so good.
So good,
I feel so good.
You did sign an NDA, so you can't talk about it.
Shit, I did. They paid me a lot of money to sign that.
So you can't talk about where you work.
I guess... Yeah, no, I can't talk about where I worked.
You
I'm now really debating because I don't want to get sued. Can I talk about this? You know what? Maybe we might have to cut all this out. That's actually a good point.
No, wait. You can say that you don't have a job anymore.
I can say that. This. Yeah, we can talk about that.
Talk about like what you did this past week.
Okay, we talk about that. So the funny part was
now that you no longer work at. They can fucking say it. Yeah.
When I was getting, because I think I could talk about this because this isn't like company sensitive.
Okay.
I mentally checked out of this job a long time ago. So I was not surprised. Also because they were doing layoffs, so I'm just like, it's all coming together. This is perfect. So
nowhere they're gonna keep me around.
No, I'm first
layoffs.
round of layoffs, and I'm like, perfect. I'll get severance, I'll get unemployment, and I'll just get another job.
Yeah.
So I was fine. So we get into the firing meeting, for lack of a better word, and it's my manager and the HR woman who I've never met before. It's just like there's just some person from corporate.
Yeah.
And we meet, and it's like. We joined the meeting. I'm like, hey, so I'm like definitely getting fired, right? Everyone's like, what? And I'm like, well, an HR person I've never met before and my manager on a mandatory meeting that got put on my schedule 10 minutes ago. So, I mean, what else is this about?
Yeah.
You know? And they're like, well, because they're all corporate, they're all like uncomfortable. Like, well, the company has decided to go in a different direction. You have the classic spiel of like, it's not you, it's us. Like, we were just like, just fucking, what are you doing? So I'm just like, cool. So like, what's the deal? And I just got like all the numbers for like everything. And I'm like, that sounds great. Awesome. Nice. And they're like,
you're not sad
and
to
so
leave.
the HR person is like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, no, this is honestly the best news. I'm so relieved. This is the best news I've gotten all day.
Yeah.
And
they're like, you sure you don't need to talk to
and
anybody?
they were literally like that. And then my manager just cuts her off and goes, he's just like this. Because my manager.
Wow, what a bitch.
No. She's not a bitch. I love my old manager.
Yeah, but if anyone, even if that was the truth, if someone was like, this is just how he is.
Just how I am.
Fuck you.
No, I appreciate it. That's Matt saying that, not me. If you're listening to this, you were an amazing manager. So she's like, yeah, he's just like this. Because I used to get in trouble all the time for like not doing my job, basically. Be like, hey, did you do that thing? I'd be like, no. Like, why not? It's like, didn't wanna. They're like,
that was your reasoning?
Yeah, I would just be brutally honest with everyone at all times. And like I tried to Office Space it. If you ever see that movie, I basically did that. And she's like, all right, is there like anything I can do to help? And it's like, no, this is my own incompetence.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, like I had trained my manager to know that when we had one-on-ones, like I refused to explain any of my actions.
Right.
Because that's the thing I hate about in corporate America. Like you'll fuck up and they will know that the answer is that you just fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't intentionally
but they'll never just say you fucked up. They try to get it out of you.
Well,
right?
no. It's not even that. It's like because like the answer is like I never intentionally do my job bad. Just sometimes you make a mistake. It fucking happens. So like they'll be like, hey, you made a mistake on this. And I'll be like, yes, I did. And they'll be like, why'd that happen? And the answer is just like it was a mistake.
Made a mistake.
They don't accept that. They want you to like explain exactly how it happened and what you can do to prevent it
I'm sorry,
in the future.
my mom never loved me growing up.
No, it makes you feel like you're begging in front of like an emperor to not execute you. You're like, see, the thing is, it was
don't pull the trap door, please.
It was in this email, and then I thought Greg sent me the email, but it was really Jonathan, and so it got and that's why I put in the wrong spreadsheet. I'm so sorry. I will never happen
They're
again.
asking you to throw everybody else under the bus.
They're like, I'll
yourself.
put like 8 notes in my Excel calendar so I never fuck up an Excel again. Please, I'm sorry. And I just wouldn't do that. Like I just refuse. It's like I have dignity. I'm not doing. She's like, yeah, I would just be like, yeah, I messed up. And they're like, why? It's like, I don't know, just mistakes happen. What do you want the answer from me? It's like, well, is there anything we do in the future? It's like, probably not. I will probably make more mistakes as everyone in this department does.
Yeah.
Like I'm not giving you a weird like kowtow explanation to it.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't capitalize this one word in a sentence in this email.
I would legit get in trouble for shit like that.
Yeah. No.
And so,
dude, I'll do shit at work I didn't even know I did wrong, and I'll go, that'll never happen again.
Then you'll do it again.
so I trained my manager over time that by the end, because the one-on-ones with every employee were like an hour.
Yeah.
Right. And mine used to be that till I started just doing this, where it's like you can fire me for my performance, or you cannot. I'm not going to explain my performance line by line. If it's an important thing, I'll explain it to you, but I'm not explaining run rate daily stuff to you. That's insane. It's a waste of time. Exactly. It feels dehumanizing, and it's like insulting to both
I have
our...
to explain why I got this job and why I'm here, like what my worth is. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's just like, or even shit like, why'd you not capitalize a letter? Like, I'll be asked to explain why I didn't capitalize like an I at the beginning of the sentence. It's like, I don't, because it's a fucking typo. Like, what do you mean explain that? So by the end, I train
because I didn't press the shift key while.
So by the end, I trained her that it's like we would meet, and at a certain point, we both kind of knew I was on my way out. Yeah. So it's just like whatever. We'd meet, and our one-on-ones would be like 5 minutes compared to everyone's hour, because it'd be like, you fucked up this, and this. Why? And I'm just like, it happens. Happens.
And then look at you like,
and she'd just be like, no, because by the end it was like funny to her, because she's like, all right, like, this is really a bad look. Like, this is not good for your future. The company, like, oh, I know what's gonna happen in like a month. Don't worry, I know. I'm actually planning on it. I've accepted my fate.
Oh, fuck.
And so the HR meeting, she was like genuinely, and I was just cracking jokes. We were having a great time, great exit interview because I liked everyone I worked with, so I gave them all the information from my book to like make sure there was no miscommunication because I didn't want to screw over anyone that was like picking up my slack now that I was going to be gone.
Right.
And I was just like, like it was a thing where at the end I apologized to my manager, just like, hey, I just want to say also, just like, I know my opinion's probably not worth much, but Mrs. HR Lee, I just want you to know that like my performance shouldn't reflect it all on my manager. She was a great manager. She really tried to look out for me, and this job just wasn't a good fit. And it's like, to my manager, I was like, hey, I'm really sorry that I wasn't the best employee, and I know many times I tried your patience, and thank you for never, snapping at me and being patient with me.
Yeah,
and she did that thing where she was about to be like, oh, no, you didn't. And she was like, oh, you didn't. She's like, thank you. She was gonna be like, you don't have to do that. And she's like, oh no, I deserve that apology. I deserve that apology. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I was like, based.
I love that.
Got out of there.
I'm the kind of employee at my job where it's like all my managers know that I should not be given so much responsibility, but the customers and like love me so much, and like I provide a certain level of customer service where I'm super nice to everybody. I'm also very approachable, and I know a lot about like the place that I work, where they're like, okay, Matt shouldn't really be doing like big managerial stuff, but we can't fire him because like they call me like a raccoon.
They fucking love you. They're not gonna fire you.
Yeah, dude. They tell me that I'm the raccoon because I'm like I'm feral and I definitely don't deserve to have the job that I do, but like I'm cute and like I'm loving.
Don't let them do that to you. You do deserve that job. That's some fucking corporate manipulation.
Yeah, for sure. But I
of them to be like,
I know
you don't really deserve the job, but we love you so much, we allow you. We give you the privilege of having this job.
Yeah, it's definitely a way of
that's
them,
for
them to like put me down a peg, so I feel like I can't ask for like a raise or anything like that. That's always how. I
it's
felt
like they're doing you a favor. It's like fuck that.
Right. Yeah. And so, but like they know that like. I'm one of their favorites, because like talking to me is great. And I know that I'm like kind to people and like I know so much about the company. So like I do have value there easily. It's just that like sometimes they'll like just want me to do something and then they're like, wait, no, we can't really trust them because I don't do my job very well, I have this like weird thing where it's like I am valuable, but not in the way the company needs me. Yeah. But like they need me for like morale. Like it's like, and I feel like that's how I am like outside of my job too. Like people know that I'm not good at a lot of things, but like I am like a very like loving, kind like person like that. So I just love how like kind of what you see like either on the pod or whatever the fuck or like how you see me in person. That's how I am. I like how that's how I am at my job.
Matt is very consistent of who he is as a person.
Yeah, and I used to not have that. I used to, like in high school, I would jump around personality-wise. Like, because I don't know, I used to try to fit in with too many groups. I didn't know where I really belonged. And now I feel like I just, like, kind of belong to myself. And, like,
That's
whoever like fucks with me will fuck with me. And I like that I have that now. I love that. And I know, I love knowing that I don't know everything. I used to try to, like, because some friends of mine like hate when I don't like know like things. I don't put a lot of effort into shit. Now
I've punched a hole in a wall or two.
Yeah. Like but like I'm so like okay with like not being as smart as people expect.
You also got to stop.
First of all, it has nothing to do with you not knowing anything because I could live with that. It's your ability to fight back. And then be twice as wrong.
Yeah.
But carry the confidence.
Is that annoying?
Is that
I'm
annoying
wrong. As fuck?
Only a little bit annoing as fuck. Only a little bit annoying.
I totally know that. In college, my professors used to like hate when I'd talk during class because whenever I raised my hand, it wasn't to actually like do anything productive. Like I remember I took a lighting class. In order to learn about lighting, we had to learn about color because color is in lighting. And we were talking about like the additive color properties or whatever the fuck. And so it's like red, yellow, blue or whatever the fuck. And I go, it's red, yellow, green. And the professor's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, yes, it is. I know that because I remember red, yellow, and green is also the name of the Pokemon games because it's red, yellow, Pokemon, green. And he goes, it is. There's a green one that was released in Japan. And professor would be like, get out of my classroom. you are making everybody around you think that think
You
the
are
wrong
radiating
thing.
stupid.
You have to stop. And they would love me, but then I would talk to my professors and they'd be like, you have such you have a lot of confidence for someone who shouldn't have any confidence in your answers. And I'm like, thank you. And they're like, no, don't say thank you. They're like, don't say thank you. That's not a quality a person should have. But I like that about myself.
I did want to talk about, now that I'm not at my job, I can talk about what I used to do.
Yeah.
Which is great. So to any of my, cause I think a couple of my coworkers listen to this. So what I would do at my job pretty much every day is I would get in, I would get a cup of coffee from the barista there, and drink a coffee, and then I would go.
Is it free coffee?
Yeah.
Dope.
I had an in-house barista. It was pretty cool. And then I would go and I would make I would toast English muffins, and then I would make a Nutella and peanut butter banana sandwich, and that would take me about 20 minutes because I want to get it just right. My coworkers would come walk with me, and we would just be in the kitchen for like almost a half hour. And they're like, dude, we got to get back. Like, we got to get back to work. Like,
I'm making my sandwich.
It's like, listen, I'm making my, I can't start my day until so basically the first hour of the day I did nothing. I went and got my coffee. I talked to the coffee guy. Then I would go get my Nutella sandwich. And I was like, listen, what's the worst that's going to happen? They'd be like freaking out because they're normal people. And I'd just be like, listen, calm down. What is the worst that's going to happen? Is someone's going to come in here and be like, hey, shouldn't you be working? And I'd be like, sorry, I'm making a Nutella banana sandwich. Would you like one? That's the worst that's going to happen.
Right.
And they're like, what if you get fired? It's like, spoiler alert, at some point, I'm going to get fired. There's no way I'm willingly leaving this company. Like, they're going to have to pay me to go.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have to pay me a surprising amount of money to leave. And so just make that, just eat my Nutella banana sandwich. And I'd be like, or I'm going to go to my office, and I would go up to like the 15th floor because the 15th floor used to be like execs, like top level people, but they all got laid off like a year ago. Right. So I would go up there and I would go into this thing that used to be like an office, and it had been like converted into a conference room, but that's where the guy's corner office used to be. So it's like a corner thing, and no one was ever in there. So I would go up there and I'd shut the door, and there was a couch in it. So I'd lay down on the couch like this, with the laptop on my chest.
Were there windows that people could look in?
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. And I would just like, I actually laid up like, and I'd be dressed like this too, because they would get mad at how I would come to work dressed. But I was like, the manual says our department doesn't have a dress code. And they're like, yeah, but you come on, you kind of want to. It's like, if HR changes things to where there's a dress code, I will abide by it. But until then, I'm allowed to come in pajama pants if I want.
Right.
And I did several times. They were not happy. I would come in like pajama pants and Crocs to this really nice office.
What are you going to do? Fire me?
Yeah.
Please do.
Like, at a certain point, I was daring them to fire me. I was like, I don't want to
realize that.
I was like, I hate this job. Fire me. And this is the best part. I hated this job, and I'm describing what I did at the job, which was basically nothing. So after about an hour of coffee, Nutella banana sandwiches, I would always take, like, they had, like, metal knives. And I would just throw it in the trash can every time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, every time.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's more than being a bad employee. Isn't that bad for, like, the universe?
No, a lot of people at the company would do that. It was like our passive...
Throw away fucking... Because they didn't want to wash him?
Yeah, we didn't want to wash it. It was our passive-aggressive way to be like, you don't own me. So you'd throw away, like, the metal...
real knives that somebody forged in fire.
I'd use one for the Nutella, throw it out. I'd use one for the peanut butter, throw it out, and then I'd use one to chop up the banana and throw it out. So I threw out about 3 knives every day I was in the office.
Per fucking sandwich.
What's funny is the guy who's probably stocking those knives is another guy that throws out like all the plasticware because on his level, that's how they tell that company like, we don't. It's just an endless fucking. No. They all think they're fucking the company, but really they're fucking each other.
Metal knives. So there's an email that goes out. Is anybody stealing our metal knives?
So if any coworkers listen, like, wow, that's really fucked up, Chris. Everyone did it. I saw all of you do it. Shut the fuck up. It was our way to get back at the man. So then. So I would go up to the 15th floor. I'd go in what I called my personal office, and I would lay up in there like this. And there was a TV that you're supposed to use for like video conferencing.
Yes.
But I found a way to Bluetooth my computer to it.
Okay.
And so I would Bluetooth my computer, and like the last couple weeks I worked, I would go in there And this is what I did with like my last 2 weeks on the job. I'd be answering emails and like doing the stuff I was supposed to be doing, like with the laptop on my chest like this and then I would have on the screen, I watch all 8 of the Harry Potter films.
No.
And all 3 of the Lord of the Rings extended edition movies.
Holy fuck.
And the best part is like, because it was technically a conference room, every once in a while people would come in and open the door and be like, hey, we have a meeting in here. And I'd be laying there with like my sandwich and the computer and fucking like they have a cave troll scene is up on the TV. And I'd just be like,
Gollum just got the ring.
yeah. And I would just bold-face lie to them. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of a meeting. Like, I would pretend I'm on a customer call, when I clearly am not. I'd be like, I'm on a customer call. And they, like, clearly see Lord of the Rings on the TV and be like, oh, I'm, because we have the room. And I'm like, I don't know when this call's going to be over. When the call's over, I'll give you the room. I'm sorry, it ran over. I'd be like, it ran over. And they would just back off, and I'd see them sit outside on like the little couch they had out there for like a half hour waiting, and I would just be like, go fuck yourself. And then they just leave. It was great. I fucking dominated that room.
Horrible.
It became to the point where people knew that was my room, so they stopped coming up there. But everyone in corporate America is a coward, so no one would ever call me out for clearly lying or ever report me. So it was great.
You're so afraid of like the relationships.
Yeah. With me, the powerful man in the Crocs watching Lord of the Rings.
I wouldn't be surprised if like everybody was working and then like you were just doing whatever you were doing, and then one day, like if I was an employee there and I was worried about how everybody like treated everybody, and then I saw how you were treating people, I'd be like, let's just leave him alone. He might be like an undercover boss. You know how like fucking in the movie The Internship where they're at Google and then like that fucking guy is like basically like Steve Wozniak of like Google, and like you don't know that until like the end. Thank you guys so much for watching the You Should Be Worried episode number 61, baby. My name is Matt Lopes. We love that you guys are watching and that you guys are coming and having a good time. Please like, comment, and subscribe on the video and follow us on our social media. You can find me at Matty Fucko. The podcast can be found at You Should Be Worried Pod on Instagram. Follow that. The TikTok is Be Worried Pod. And then follow In the Making ITM on all social media platforms. They have really good sketches out. Chris?
Hey, everybody. My name's Chris Warren. As always, you can follow me at Chris Warren Comedy on Instagram and TikTok. Got all the show dates and everything like that up on Instagram. So if you want to see me in person in the Northeast or somewhere else, let me know, and I'll see what I can do to come out there.
Fire.
Also, to the woman that I used to work with, who I won't name, but just had the biggest tits I've ever seen.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just Matt knows who I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
Call me. Call me.
And stick up for yourself. Your boyfriend shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, that's horrible. If you want to talk about it, I'm there for you. I miss you already. I won't name your name, but I know that you're aware of this. I know that you're aware of this podcast. And I miss you.
Yeah. We love you guys. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.
Take care.